All right, welcome back. Star Wars Racing Incorporated and Lorex 7 right behind me. Uh, what a weekend of racing, I tell you what. Let me start with that. By the way, I'm wearing my Penske racing hat. This is the old Brat K hat from the Miller days. I've always been kind of a Penske guy, you know. But in Cendric now, doing real good. So, I always like the Penske organization. I think they're so freaking good. And that's why we paint the wheels here in the Lorex 7 red. That's Team Penske motto. Anyways, a lot of racing stuff out there. This weekend we had Trans Am. Yesterday, P4 for Jose Chocron from Panama. That was awesome. In a car borrowed, and so that was amazing to see. Congratulations. Also, the MX5 Cup was going on. That was streaming live on Instab TV, and got our boy from Miami, Celine Roland, another Latino kicking butt. What a wonderful win for him too. Got TA2, Trans Am 2, all the Trans Am and SVRA now streaming free on speedtourtv.com. Also, and so that's on YouTube. So all the races now are free, which is cool. I was watching the whole weekend, by the way. So, which is why I'm kind of behind all my car stuff here, but gotta watch. IndyCar today, NASCAR today. I tell you, it's all kinds of stuff. But let's get to an update. Let's do an update. There's the red wheels right there, a la Penske, honoring the captain. So we're not racing for a little while until the end of March, but you got to prepare. You got to keep your preparations going, and I got some advice here today. So obviously your inspection after you come back. Found a little bit of a welding that came off here. Sebring, of course, does that to you. So we'll weld that back together here. So inspection of the car. Also, the other advice is, just do 2-3 things a day, or maybe 1 or 2 things, whatever, just keep moving on it, and then you'll keep going. So we're preparing for things to the end of March, but we're getting going. So my windshield here, it's probably the hardest to see windshields in the paddock. So finally I got some Lexan over there. We're gonna make a new one. So here we go. So while we do that though, you can see here my dash is a little bit loose. So we're gonna go ahead and re-rivet this now that we have a nice access. So all these points we're gonna rivet, make sure it's nice and tight. We'll go ahead and put some tape just to in case there's any rain or something going through here. A lot of electronics are right here, so want to make sure that's protected. So we'll go ahead and we put the windshield. I'm not too confident that I can seal it correctly, so I'm gonna go ahead and again put some tape all around. Just make sure you keep water out of there. It's a little ugly, but why mess around with your performance or something getting damaged just because you don't want some tape on the car. Got all the ignition stuff is right here, on the other side we also got the fuses. So what, heck with it. I'm gonna, after I put my stuff real nice, I'm gonna tape it and make sure it's all good. So let's get back away. There's the Lexan right there. Got the old windshield out. That's about what I'm gonna cut it. Got plenty of Lexan. We can make some traveling windows, maybe save the rest of it too. So really excited to do this. So there it is. We got here ready to go. We're just gonna go ahead and by mistake at some point I put this in front of the strut. It should be in the back. So those are the things you look for, just the little details that can damage your weekend. So we're gonna take some time and just disconnect it real quick here and just run it from the back. But that's what the inspections are for. At some point, I guess last time I was messing around, I put that stuff backwards. Didn't cause me any problem, but that's how it is. You gotta keep an eye for those little things, put them in the right way. this side we are good to go. We're just waiting. We're gonna clean this up real good. I'm waiting for the strap tower to come back so we can put a new coney on this side. The advice here is, before you put those back on, the RX-7 here, there's two big bolts that go here. They're very important from the assembly, and very important to clean this up real good. Brake cleaner in there, because if it's greasy or it's got oil from the brake fluid or even the engine that I had before, it's leaking oil, so the oil will get in there, make those bolts loose, and then your suspension will feel loose. So brake clean the heck out of this, especially these two. Clean up really good the bolts, do a Loctite, and then boom, they go in. They're gonna stay nice and strong. What else? So again, looking for the little details so you don't get burned at the track, right? So last time, excuse me here, buddy. So we went ahead and just replaced the return spring here for the Weber. I used to have a really hard one that was really tough. So, but that can cause the rod that goes here to you know, really get a lot of stress. So get a medium, you know, not way soft, but somewhere between soft and medium. So you still have, obviously the idea of the spring is to return it. So it's got to have some strongness, but not all the way strong the way I had it. So this is really nice. Put a little bracket here. And now this is really nice, really good. Also on your Weber, right here, there's this little kind of washer stopper thing. I was missing that. Basically, this was sort of moving, right? So there's a reason for that. So if you're missing it, put it on. That's basically. And then here, the other thing I just checked out and did, this is my throttle cable. And it was a little sideways, you know, and so, you know, make sure it's really nice and straight versus your throttle here bracket, and also throw in some safety wire on it. You can see there, got some safety wire on two sides, on the front side, also on the back side. Just keeps it, your throttle cable and the guide all the way through, and it never comes off. Don't want that happening when you're racing, or anytime. But anyways, a little bit of advice there. Throw this guy back on. You don't want anything getting in there, even though you're at the house. Never know. You can drop it in something. All right, that's done. And onto the table. All right, so the last thing here, real quick, is in the advice department, and I've talked about my racing bag. So I'm kind of cleaning. This has all the essentials I need to work on the car or the track for the most part, and I without digging into the big one, basically, you know, so you can have this right next to you, grab the stuff. So I was given advice, and very good advice, is to have some of these adjustables in this bag, because again, you can go from 2mm to 24, 26mm real quick, you know. So now these I already had these, they just didn't have them in there. So now they're in this bag, so that, you know, when you need something real quick, you don't have to go dig. You know, if you let's say you know, I don't have 15mm here, and then for some reason you need it at that moment, then boom boom, you can just do it. So that's the advice. Also, I bought these smaller wrenches, which is really cool, really good for traveling. That way I don't have big wrenches all around. I have a small bag, so these smaller wrenches are cool. This is 14, and I got all of them from 19 all the way to 10, so they're really useful. And then now I'm keeping them here too, because they're small. Throw them in the bag, they get lost in there, so you try and dig for them. Now they're all together here, and I'm actually gonna add this guy in there too, so I know where my wrenches are. And then these little lamps too, by the way, they are so helpful. Got a little magnet on them. These are from Harbor Freight, well, the one I have, and I use them as a track real good. Also here at the shop, and you know, put your number on it, because you know, sometimes you be with other people and they have it too, and then boom, you lose it, you know. So put your number on your lamp. Anyways, that's what's going on. Stay safe, and we'll keep working on the car, getting it ready, and that's all. Star Wars Racing.